How's it going, everybody? The return of the live stream. It's been 3 weeks, I guess, since the last one. Missed 2 weeks when I was in Minnesota. We are now back in Pennsylvania. Feels good to be home. Had our first day back at church today. Just all around good day and a good weekend as well. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. But give a second for people to come in. If this is your first time on a live stream, just know that there's normally a couple minutes at the beginning, or just kind of waiting, and I'm setting everything up since YouTube won't allow me to do it ahead of time anymore, from what I can tell, unless I just don't know what I'm doing, which is entirely possible. But give me just a quick minute, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Let's see here. I may have lost everybody. I don't know, because a couple weeks off, maybe people think I'm not doing it anymore. Let's see here. But we'll see. If we even get a handful tonight, that's cool. I won't be sad either way. Let's see. Control room. Why? Ay. Okay, here we go. Okay, it says the stream is good. Let me know that you can hear me. Oh, we got a few people here. That's good. Okay, so there's a couple of you anyways. I'm going to go live on Facebook too, just because it's been a little while, and then we'll go ahead and actually get into everything. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and throw them in, and we'll be sure to answer those. But I want to talk about Summer Serve tonight. I would like to talk about Kittanning 300. I haven't done a live stream since Kittanning 300, so I'd like to talk about those kinds of things. And yeah, anything else you want to talk about as well, no matter how off the wall, I'll talk about just about anything. Just try to keep it family friendly. Bear with me one more second. All right. Hey, Facebook, I just wanted to let you know the live stream is back for the first time in 3 weeks. So if you head on over to the YouTube channel, you can find the live stream there and just hang out with us for a little while. Every Sunday night at 9 o'clock, well, except for the last two, every Sunday night, 9 o'clock since last summer, we've been there talking about Kittanning, talking about different issues around town, talking about just about every topic in the world. So come on over and join us, and we'll have a good time. Thanks again. See you over there. Bye-bye. Okay, so I'm back. Okay, who do we got tonight? So we got Cadence here. I hate how Facebook does that. Melissa's here. Good to see you, Melissa. Krista's in the house. Krista, thank you for coming. Braden's here. Kevin is 10th. Love it. Swan is here. Says, what? Where have you been? Meatloaf says, but which one do I want to go on? I don't know what you mean. Oh, Facebook. Yeah, you want to stay here for sure. Facebook, I just go on there to let them know that we're here. So try to keep it all on YouTube if I can. Although I've considered, I think the YouTube algorithm does some goofy things when you do live streams. So I've been thinking about possibly doing the live streams on Facebook, and maybe we'd get more people that way too. I'm not sure, but I'm not familiar with that, with how that platform works in a long form format like this. So Swan, to answer your question, where have you been? I have been in Minnesota. So out of the last 4 weeks, actually, I spent 3 days plus a travel day in North Carolina. And then I spent, let's see, it was the day after Memorial Day we left. So it was Tuesday, and we came back on a Tuesday. So I was in Minnesota for I was in Minnesota for like a week and a half, 4 travel days actually, and then a day in Wisconsin Dells. And so we had a long extended vacation, although with 4 kids, it's pretty difficult to ever call it a vacation. Like, it's not restful, but we had time away from Kittanning. I had time away from work, kind of, because I still worked every single work day. Almost every work day. In the mornings, I would go over and just work for an hour or two. So I can never quite get away, but it was great. Had a lot of awesome time with the kids. Still some more YouTube videos coming up. I think it's going to end up being three more. No, it's four more YouTube videos from Minnesota, and then I have like a half a one where the kids went fishing for the first time with my dad, and they caught some perch and I think just perch or maybe some perch and sunfish right off the dock, and they were just so jacked up to catch some fish. Very very excited about it, and so but it's not maybe not a whole video, or maybe it'll be like a Saturday morning like minute and a half 2 minute long video about fishing for the first time, kind of like I did with Morning on Silent Lakes. That's where my parents live, on Silent Lake in Minnesota, and so it's a beautiful place. If you haven't seen that video yet, it's only 2 minutes long. I personally think from a cinematography standpoint, it's maybe the best video I've ever made. There's some maybe some better ones in when we were in Maryland, but when I can just kind of focus on just that, and I don't have to necessarily tell a story, I can just focus on getting beautiful shots. Um, it's amazing what you can do with a cell phone these days. And it turned out really nice. It was like God gave me the absolute perfect morning, and the way the lakes are situated. There's like a kind of a land bridge in between them. There's a lake on this side and a lake on this side. One faces straight east, and one faces straight west. And so it's pretty cool if you're there. The cabin that we're on is right on that land bridge, and so you can get the sunrise in the morning, and you can get the sunset in the evening, and it's a beautiful, beautiful lake, or set of lakes. They're kind of twin lakes. But that's where I've been. Had a really great time. But I was really excited to get back home. Honestly, uh, I always feel like whenever I'm away that I'm just getting more and more behind, and so I spent the last few days really being, I don't know, I guess kind of anxious. I feel like I'm worrying way too much and not resting in the good things that God has for us. And so I've just been focusing a lot on what I'm doing and how I can do it better. And I think I need to just kind of change my mindset and switch things up a little bit this week. So um, we're going to we're going to be ramping up Summer of Serve, but I'm just counting on God to kind of reveal the next houses that we're going to go to. Hopefully, we'll have some painting projects coming up. We ordered a pressure washer, so that should be here this week, and that's going to be really cool. So we'll have multiple different things that we'll be able to do. We'll be helping Habitat with some concrete work and the different projects they have going on. We're going to be doing some painting projects and pressure washing projects, and then we'll also be cutting yards and doing that kind of stuff still. But we did have, I don't know if you guys saw the video, but if you haven't yet, go check it out. Yesterday, we had my first day of Summer of Serve. Kevin led a couple. Well, Kevin led 1 week, and then we had a week with Habitat, and so we had some really good stuff yesterday. We cut a bunch of yards, and we had a new member of the Summer of Serve team, Andrew Talladay, who is a professional landscaper for his job. He does 50 yards by himself every 10 days, and so he knows what he's doing, and he's got all the best equipment. And so I didn't really have to bring anything like I normally do. I normally have to load up the trailer and all my stuff, and mine's just like residential type stuff. But he has commercial grade equipment, and it's all in good working order, which is rare for us. So, we had a really, really good day cutting yards, and then the mayor came out again. He's always awesome to work with. And so we didn't have a huge crew, but it still felt like everything went really smoothly and went really well. And then Kevin and I spent some time with Habitat, loading some stones, setting up for a that sidewalk concrete pouring project that will be happening hopefully next Saturday. So there's just a lot of good stuff going on. I'm really excited about Kittanning. And but I'd love to know your thoughts on Kittanning 300. You know, the vision that I laid out. Mike Rizzo and I have been talking about that for like 6 months now. And so Kittanning 300 is that by our 300th birthday as a city, which will be in 2027, 8 years from now, that we would have, or we would be on one of the greatest small towns in America lists. And so I think that's attainable if we can solve the problems of blight, if we can solve the addiction problem, if we can fill up the downtown businesses, and if we can have a more effective and efficient local government. which I probably need to define. I haven't really defined that for you guys ever, but um, we'll. I think if we could solve those four things, like if you can imagine Kittanning, if it was like that, there's no blighted houses around, or very few blighted houses around. All the downtown businesses are full. The opioid addiction program or problem is squared away, or at least drastically better than it is today. I just believe if those things happened, then it would be completely a different place. And so, um, I just really think it's going to be good stuff. I know that we have a solid plan for the blight problem. I have several videos planned on the addiction problem because there's just been so much information that's come out. And I'm actually reading or I'm listening to a book right now called Chasing the Scream. And so I've been doing a lot of different research on solving addiction, different ways that it's been done around the world. Um, and then also solving the problem of anxiety and depression, which I think kind of gets back to the root problem of what's actually going on. So I think you kind of have the opioid issue, and then that's kind of driven by anxiety and depression issue, which is driven by like a disconnection with God. And so I think we just kind of have to kind of peel away the layers of the onion to solve that issue. Filling up downtown businesses, honestly, I think is this maybe the simplest one of all of them. The only thing that's difficult about it is getting the buildings out of the hands of derelict owners. But a lot of that has to come back on codes enforcement and those kinds of things. But I think with all the work that's happened downtown, we just need to build on the success that's already happened there. We have like the sushi place, we have the places like Two Short Gals, businesses that have come in over the last 5 years that are being successful. And I think that if we can just kind of build on the ecosystem that's already starting there and get a couple more, key vendors in there, I think you desperately need like a coffee shop slash ice cream place downtown. All of a sudden now you have places to shop, you have places to eat, and then you have places to go after you eat to hang out. I think that's the key. So I don't necessarily think we need more bars. I don't want to go that route, but I'd love to see it like a good coffee shop, chocolate shop, ice cream place. I actually talked with DKI the other day about all the different possible businesses that could go down there. Things came in. Wine cellar too, maybe. Yeah, I mean that'd be decent. There's so many wineries around here. You would think with all of them coming to the wine walk, and they've all been successful every time they come, that one of them would maybe say, "Hey, I'd like to open a second shop and put it in Kittanning." That would be pretty cool. But I mean, the wine shop fits right into what I said about Foxburg. You kind of take Foxburg, how successful they've been, and literally they have half a block worth of a town, and we have all of Kittanning, and we have the same beauty that they have there. We have better infrastructure than they have. We have more economic potential than they have. I just think overall, Kittanning could just be Foxburg taken to 10 levels more, and we could be that town. You know, especially since we're situated right on the Armstrong Trail. There's just so many things that we have going for us that I just think as we get this ball rolling downhill, it's just going to pick up steam and it's going to go faster than any of us can possibly imagine. So, anyway, that's probably way more than you wanted to know already. But so let me know what you think about that. Which one of those problems do you think is the most difficult to solve, and why? What are the possible, what are the hangups that you see that we're going to have there in tackling any of those issues? And maybe with all those issues, what would be a video that you'd like to see about it? Because I'd love to go and research things and then make videos about them, kind of take them to the public, and then see if we can kind of come up with a plan together for how to solve those things. But I have kind of a rudimentary plan for all of them. Well, I think we have a really solid plan for the blight issue, so that's good to go. But the other two, filling up downtown businesses and the opioid addiction problem, those are two big ones that I think we really need to kind of brainstorm as a group and figure out how we can move forward. Okay. Swan said, "Did I miss a suspension notice or something? Was that like suspending my channel?" No, you did not miss one, as far as I know. Uh, Meatloaf says, "Yes, finally took a well-needed break. I did need a break. I could probably still use another one, but really I just need to get my sleep patterns back to normal now. Because even in Minnesota, my cousins were there the last few nights and those kinds of things, and so I'd be up till midnight, and then I would stay up till 2 in the morning editing, and then I still have to get up, at regular time in the morning, and help make breakfast and do all those kinds of things. So I felt like I just didn't sleep enough, and I'm still not sleeping enough. So I'm gonna try to solve that hopefully tonight. Patty's Rock is in the house. Good to see you, Patty's. Swan says, "Oh, very cool. Yes, I saw some of those videos. Great. Yeah, and you'll see it'll be all Minnesota videos this week as well, except for Summer Serve. So, and then I'll be back to Kittanning videos, which I have so many ideas. I just want to get to them. But would it be too confusing if I did like Minnesota video, Kittanning video? Would it be really weird if I went back and forth? I don't know. Let's see. Meatloaf. Oh, sorry. Kevin says, I spent the day playing games with the boys. That's awesome. What games did you play, Kevin? Now I'm interested. Meatloaf says, I spent the day being difficult. That does not surprise me at all, Krista. Summer says, good evening. Good evening to you. I'm glad you're back from Tennessee, and I can't wait to see you again. Hope you're feeling better. Roger's in the house. Good to see you, Roger. Melissa says, you could have used Tyler and Amber as examples in the church today. I was thinking about that, to be perfectly honest with you, and I was hoping that we would have another one of our couples there that is having a baby, but I didn't. They weren't there, obviously, and I didn't want to embarrass Amber on her first day in church, so I held back a little bit. But those of you that don't know, today we've been preaching through different social justice issues. And so Pastor Luke has preached on race and about poverty over the last 2 weeks. And then today I preached about abortion. And so I was really happy with how the sermon turned out. I think it's powerful stuff. If any of you are interested in listening to that, definitely go check it out. If you're wondering, like, what's a biblical perspective on abortion, I would love for you to go listen to that and give me your opinion on it. But I'm not normally happy with sermons, but I was really happy with today. So I thought today, we just had a great church service all around. I felt like worship was excellent. Kim came up and had a great song at the end as well, and it was a good day, much needed day for me, to be honest with you. That's one of the big struggles in Minnesota as well, because a lot of my family, when I was there, we didn't even attend church for the 2 weeks that I was there. And so I just kind of did church with the girls in the morning right there at the house. And then the very last night that we were in Minnesota, my cousins would normally spend the night around the fire, and we still did that. But all of their kids, we had 10, is it 10? No, 9 girls in Malachi. That was how many kids in the house. Or no, it was 10 girls. 10 girls in Malachi. All there. So Malachi was the only little boy, and he was the youngest one. And so all those girls wanted to have like a little worship night. And so we got together and had we got out my stepdad's guitar, and I pulled out my iPad, and we just played worship songs all night. And I taught them some, and they taught me some, and we just had a really fun time with it. And so that was a real blessing to me. So I guess that was kind of church with my family. But I don't know. It's just not the same when I'm not at Living Water. Like, I don't know. It's probably a problem like in my brain. Like, it shouldn't be that way. Obviously, you should be able to worship wherever you are. But I just felt like I just feel different when I'm there, when I'm with my people, with my family, my church family. Braden says, I spent the day traveling home from my grandma's where I won a bass guitar in a raffle. That's fantastic. Braden, that is wonderful. Are you going to learn to play it? And are you going to play it at Living Water Church? We're always looking for alternate musicians, and, we could use you, my friend. Cannibal says, thank goodness you're okay. Dad said Ford City got jealous and kidnapped you. That would be terrible. Just terrible. I can't imagine, like, you shouldn't even talk that way on this channel. Swan says, happy Father's Day, by the way, to Andy and all the great dads here. Yeah, absolutely. Happy Father's Day to all of you. I think that's, it's a good day. My kids made me little cards and stuff today. It was very fun. Meatloaf says, oh, Colin's here. Good to see you, Colin. It's been a long time, man. Swan says, what is the blanket? Or no, this is Meatloaf says, what is the blanket on the couch? The blanket on the couch is Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, that's right. I've had that blanket since I was, I think, maybe like 10 years old. So it's 23. I've had the blanket for 23 years, and I still cover with it almost every single night on the couch. It's my favorite blanket by far. Tim says, hello from the Rocky Mountains. Good to have you, Tim. I just got a comment today on a video as well. Some random person from New Jersey watches all my videos, not connected to Kittanning at all from what I could tell. Just said he found me randomly one day and he really likes the videos and he wants to do something similar in his town. And I thought, like, that's awesome. So now we're almost all the way to the West Coast, and then we got the East Coast covered, and now we just got to fill in everything else. So very excited about that. Summer says, I'll bring my trailer Saturday loaded with our mower and weed eater. Hated missing the first day. Summer, don't load it up yet because we're doing the next time for yards. Let me give you the date. You can still come out. We just won't need your yard equipment right away, but we will definitely use it down the road. The next time for yards is going to be July 13th. So July 13th, August 3rd, and August 24th, I believe. Yeah, I think it's 24th. Those will be the 3 days that we'll actually be doing yards as like the main focus. But if we do have a yard that needs done, like if I find any more this week, I'll be sure to get in contact with you, and we'll be happy to use your stuff this week. That'd be great. Nate says, what is involved with getting on the list exactly? I have no idea what list you're talking about. Did I talk about a list? I don't know. Swan says, more plants and flowers. Sorry, I'm getting behind on the topics now, so I don't remember what these things are about. Colin's here. Tim says, great vision for a great town. Thank you, Tim. Swan says, and boats from Pittsburgh for tourists. Yeah, we got to keep the locks open in order for that to happen, right? Foxburg's a great model. Yes. Colin says, happy Father's Day, Andrew. Thank you, Colin. Appreciate that. I know you like to call me dad for some reason, so, thank you, son. Tim says, I would do a day trip on one of those boats. It's been 50 years since I went on one of them down in Pittsburgh. It was for prom night, and it was great. Are you talking about like the Gateway Clipper? Because we had the Gateway Clipper in Kittanning 2 or 3 years ago, and it sold out. They just had a one random night as a fundraiser, and tickets were fairly expensive, and they sold out, I think, within like 48 hours of announcing it. So the Gateway Clipper we could probably have up here several times a year, and it would sell out every single time, I bet. Someone, if they wanted to do that as a business, like a little side hustle, you could probably make a few $1,000s every year doing that. And it'd be a great service to the city. As long as they're labeled, we never get confused about videos, Andy. Okay, so maybe I'll mix them up a little bit. If I have a good Kittanning video that I think is urgent, then I'll still make it. I'll do it. What I want to do, the next one would be like why is a vision important? That's going to be a video that I make, because I think some people are sold on the Kittanning 300 idea, and some of them kind of like what's the point? And so I want to lay that out, because I think it's important, not just from our perspective as a channel, like as a group of people that are kind of working together, but I think it's important for the city leadership, because if the city leaders have a vision, when it comes time to make a hard decision, all they have to do is go back and look at the vision and say, does this align with the vision, or which decision is a yes or a no going to be a driver of the ultimate vision that we have. And so if it's cutting some money at the city workers in order to have more money to tear down blighted houses, they could look at the vision and say, these are the 4 points that we're trying to solve. Yes, this is a hard decision. We don't want to cut that, but we need the blight to be solved in order to move this vision forward. So it makes hard decisions like that more justifiable. And so when the newspaper comes asking, or when people start complaining, that they can say, hey, you know what? We have this vision. We're driving towards this vision, and it's going to take some hard decisions in order to make it happen. And I think that has to be for all of us, whether it's a business or a church or even your family. You have to have a certain vision statement, even for your family, that says, hey, these are our values. And when it comes down to a hard decision, then you just go back to your vision. You go back to your values and you say, you know what? We have to make this hard decision, but this is what most aligns with the vision that we have for our family. This is what most aligns with our values, and this is the decision we have to make. And so I think it's just a wise thing for no matter who you are, no matter what organization you're with, you have to have a vision to drive towards. And so I want to make that video next. I don't know if I need to make it this week, but I do want that Kittanning 300 to kind of stay fresh. So, Kevin's been playing League of Legends again. That's funny, or that's cool. It's funny, Kevin. We were talking about League of Legends yesterday, and you know how they say like your cell phone always like spies on you. When I went on Facebook, it started suggesting videos to me, and they were all League of Legends videos. And I was like, that is creepy because I've never, literally, I don't even know what League of Legends is. I don't know how to play the game. But since we were talking about it, then I started getting all these suggested videos on Facebook, like, hey, maybe you want to watch this video. It's about League of Legends. And I'm like, no, I really don't, but you're creeping me out right now. So, just funny aside. 26 minutes already. Man, time flies. Melissa says, it would have been fine. You have no issues with embarrassing me, though. Well, you're more fun to embarrass. And she's a young kid, you know? Colin says, goodbye. See you later, Colin. I know you're going to boot camp soon. I wish you the best of luck, my friend. Please make sure you check back in with me when you get back to town. Maybe we can grab that cup of coffee we've been talking about for a long time. Braden says, I play a little bass, but I'm not very good. That's okay. We're not very good either. Meatloaf says, I don't know anything about sports, so yay. So the blanket is Minnesota Vikings. It's maybe the most, like if you like to suffer as a person, the Vikings are probably the best team for you to follow because they get oh so close to the championship, and then they just break your heart over and over and over again. And that's just that's the life that I've lived as a sports fan. And I think I'm going to continue to live it because I don't think they're anywhere near winning a Super Bowl yet. But yeah, at the end of every Viking season, everyone always says, well, there's always next year. And then at the beginning of every Viking season, everyone says, well, I think this might be the year. And it never is. It's just not. Krista, if you know anything about football, actually, this would be a good like Vikings history lesson for you. Go look up 1998 NFC Championship Minnesota Vikings versus Atlanta Falcons. Just go look that up and just watch the end of the game, and you'll understand just a little bit of what I'm talking about. Swan says you need a Steelers blanket, Andy. I don't want to offend anybody. No, I don't know. I'm just not really a big Steeler fan. Honestly, you guys should like thank me for moving here, because ever since I moved here, the Steelers have just been really great. They've won several championships since I've lived here. They've been to how many? 4 Super Bowls, I think, since I've been here. The year after, or the very year that I moved here, was the year they went. I think they went 15-1 when Ben Roethlisberger was a rookie. I think 3 years into the season. Who was it? Was it Tommy Maddox? Is that who it was before him? So whoever it was, the older quarterback got hurt. They put in Ben. I think they were 2-1 or maybe 1-1 at the time, and then Ben won I think 14 games straight. They went to the AFC Championship and then just got blasted by the Patriots. I remember that very, very well. And then the second year that I lived here, they went all the way. They won the Super Bowl against the Seattle Seahawks. And that was super fun. I actually really enjoyed watching that. I still think the Steelers-Colts game from that year is the best football game I ever watched. It was a really, really great game. The one where Bettis fumbled on like the 1-yard line, and it looked like the Colts were going to take it back for the touchdown, and Ben like reaches out and grabs the guy by the ankle, and then Vanderjagt misses that kickoff or that field goal. He was like Mr. Automatic. Crazy game. But anyways, I'm probably speaking way over your head, Krista, so I'll just leave that alone. Melissa says, you calling random people son is kind of creepy. I agree with you. Him calling me dad's kind of creepy, though, so I'm just giving it back to him. Kevin says, our phones are always listening. Swan says, oh, I get a lot of stuff, suggestions online that creep me out. Totally. Yeah. It happens all the time. It's so weird. We had my wife and I, the first time that it really happened, I had a video where I met Edgar Snyder in Pittsburgh, and my wife and I were just talking about it. I was like, "You'll never believe it. The craziest thing happened. I met Edgar Snyder," and my wife pulled up her Samsung phone that night, and she had Samsung had served her ads like on her home screen, and it was Edgar Snyder. It was just like so weird, so creepy. Tim says you need a Kittanning blanket. Now that is an idea. If there is such a thing, maybe we need to make one. Like if there's like a Kittanning greatest city in the world blanket, I would probably put the Viking blanket away, to be honest with you, at least for the videos. I wanted to get like some YouTube stuff too. Like I want to get I see like all these YouTubers have YouTube pillows. Like I want to get a YouTube pillow and like different stuff like that, or like a YouTube like hoodie. I don't know. I just think it'd be cool. Melissa says, so Andy, Zach wants to get his permit. Does that mean you are teaching him to drive? I'd be happy to. I have a couple cars. I don't have full coverage on any of my cars except the Buick, and I'm probably not going to let him drive the Buick. But if you want to learn to drive a stick, he could learn on my truck. But I do have the van as well, so I'd be happy to teach him how to drive. I love that kind of stuff. Swan says, does Kittanning have colors? Do cities have colors? I don't know. I think the cities generally would just go with the colors of their high school team. And so Kittanning probably used to be a red and black kind of town, but now I think it's an orange and blue kind of town with the Riverhawks. I think that'd be pretty cool if we did like the Armstrong Trail with Ford City and Kittanning, if they could team up and do a lot of orange and blue kind of stuff. I think that'd be awesome. But it'd be really neat to have a red and white blanket. If you just had a red blanket with white lettering that was, Kittanning, greatest city in the world, that'd be pretty sweet. Melissa says, I'm scared to teach him. And Krista says, yeah, because you suck at driving. Way to lay it all out there, Krista. Classes aren't free. That's funny. Doesn't your school have have driver training anymore? Our school does. Armstrong High School has driver training. Sorry, my foot fell asleep. Gosh. Gosh, I hate that. Do you hate when your foot falls asleep? My wife's really mean about feet falling asleep, actually. She always comes and kicks my leg. I'm waiting for her to like run in here. She's looking. So Kiski doesn't have that. Okay. Well, anyway, guys, I'm going to get ready to go. Just wanted to throw out there one more time. Summer Serve next week, next Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. I know there's a lot of people that have stuff going on because I've been invited to like 3 parties that are on next Saturday. So we're going to try to make Summer of Serve just a morning thing, but we're planning on helping Habitat with some concrete work. They have 2 different houses there. We also have a painting project that I have confirmed. So we're going to be on Wilson Avenue painting a porch on a duplex. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then we'll also be doing a little paint cleanup on the last paint project. There's some paint on the sidewalk that I want to get cleaned up because I just don't like us leaving that kind of stuff behind. But that shouldn't take very long. None of those things, honestly, should take very long. And then we'll see if I can find a couple other yards through the week. So we're going to have like 4 different projects going on, be in a lot of different places. Should be pretty fun video to watch, that whole process. But I also just want to let you know, we're always looking for more volunteers. Many hands make light work, and since we'll have 4 different projects going on, if we had 25 people, that would be totally fine because we could split them up, 6 on each project, and we could knock everything out really, really fast. So you come at 8 o'clock. My guess is if we had enough people, we'll certainly be done by noon. But if we have enough people, we might be done by 10. So that's just how it works. So give a couple hours of your time, and hopefully we'll get some different things rolling, and we're going to have a really It's gonna be a really great summer, you guys. I'm always frustrated. I always feel like we're behind, but the fact is, I think we're right on time. I think we're just going at God's pace, and as this thing gets rolling, as this thing continues to grow, we're just gonna get more and more people involved, and we're gonna get more and more projects done. And as those things happen, I think we're actually gonna fracture a little bit, and you're gonna have multiple groups working all over the city, all pushing towards the same goal, and that's defeating blight in our city. That's what Summer of Serve is kind of turning into. Is we're going to be the leading force on solving the blight problem in Kittanning, and I couldn't be more excited to do it. Because with all of you guys, I know that we have so many talented people, so many people that are passionate about the city of Kittanning, that I know we're just going to make a huge difference in the long run. So special thank you to each and every one of you that have ever been involved with the church and with Summer of Serve and all that stuff. And if you haven't yet, come out just one time. Even if you don't think that you can do a whole lot, even if you just want to come and be moral support and hand people water bottles and whatever you think that you can do, there's no job too small. Every little thing matters. And so even if you just come out and just prayed, that would be awesome. Like this last week, we had multiple neighbors come out and thank us for what we were doing, or a couple of them are asking us what we were doing, and we just met new people. Like, it'd be amazing if we just had one person there just to talk to people, and just explain what it's all about, and just to pray with people and ask them, hey, what can we pray for you for, and what are the other problems that you see in the community? What are the other things that you think we could do? Because that's hard too. So it'd be nice to just have someone standing around. And so if you don't think you could do anything else, you couldn't do physical labor, but you want to come out and just hang out, please do that. You will not be bothering us, and we would love to have you. And so I just want to throw that out there. I'm just checking all the other comments here. Swan says Elizabeth rocks. She certainly does. Melissa says can't do next week. I know, you already told me. Tim says thanks for another enjoyable and pleasant Sunday evening. You're welcome, Tim. Thank you so much for being here. Melissa's not into talking to people. You could do it, Melissa. Come on now. Anyways, you guys, that's it for this one. God bless you all. Have a wonderful night.